Welcome to today's edition of the show podcast.
From the team behind the verbal firework display that was Catastrophe, this new sitcom is full of slapstick and rampant comedy boners. Even allowing for the fact that there have been markedly better times than now to launch a sitcom about selfish, incompetent, narcissistic man-babies whose imbecilic actions take a toll on those around them, I suspect Frank of Ireland, Channel 4, would always have been a hit-and-miss affair. The premise is not innovative. The main character, Frank, Brian Gleeson, Brendan Gleeson's son, still lives with his mother at the age of 33. He sees this as the cross he has to bear, rather than a cushy birth for a dollop of a man suffering, or rather not suffering at all, from a severe case of arrested development. His mother, Mary Palm Boyd, is a Tinder-using pill popper who is unfazed by her son's inadequacies and by the sight, on various mornings, of the women who end up sleeping with him. The first one we meet is his ex-girlfriend Anne, Sarah Green. They broke up 6 years ago, since when he has been unable to write any songs, although it is debatable whether he was writing any before that, but she returns periodically for more of his childish antics. In the first episode, we learn that he had written "Don't Sleep with Anne" on his hand prior to their night together. As a prophylactic against bad decision-making, it is about as much use as the rhythm method is against conception. Anne is now seeing a doctor and it's serious. Some crossed-purposes talk ensues, upon which we will not dwell. Rounding out the regular cast is Doofus, Domhnall Gleeson, brother of Brian, Brendan's other son, Frank's much put-upon sidekick, who trails after him to his constant detriment, partaking in his pal's misadventures. In the opening episode, Frank is invited to play a song at Anne's grandmother's funeral and tries to turn it into a gig, complete with Doofus trying to sell merch at the church doors. Like Frank plunking his belongings on top of the body in the casket at the wake, this requires too much suspension of disbelief and seems to come from a different, worse, show. Frank spends the service attempting to impress Anne in front of her new boyfriend, Peter Bryan, who also does MMA, prompting protracted confusion about taking ecstasy and practicing mixed martial arts. Frank also goes on a bender and then to bed with the female MMA expert he hires, despite Doofus having fallen in love with her at first sight. Other episodes feature him trying to take care of his injured mother for a day. "I'll be dead by morning," says Mary, almost looking forward to it, setting himself to expose an imagined truth about Peter Bryan, getting entangled with a local Amdram production, writing the songs for 12 Angry Women, an all-female musical version of the Sidney Lumet film, and generally laying waste to the surroundings. There are hits amid the many misses. The chemistry between the brothers warms the experience and gives it a charm it would otherwise struggle to summon. Their timing, particularly Brian's, who has most to do, is immaculate. Some of the viewers' dislike of and frustration with the character may be mitigated by the comic mastery on show. There are some good gags, a repeated one about the album of tribute songs to films / the counties of Ireland that Brian endlessly plans, Blood is Thicker Than Waterford, The Witches of East Wicklow, and Doofus trying to think his way into Mary's mind when she escapes from Brian's tender ministrations. It's just, Willie's, Frank. Hundreds of them. It's like being attacked by a herd of